Losing is what got us here. None of us feel good about it. This is, where we are. You are what your record is. You are what has happened, recently. But things can change quickly. Once we.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on a Losers Lounge. And what's crazy, folks, is the San Antonio Spurs fans, I don't know what it is, but some of them want Pop gone. Can you believe that, Tony?
I could not. I seen the first comment. I'm like, all right, he's wilding, he's upset. You know what I mean? I scrolled through, go through a couple more. It was a bunch of them, sir. It was a bunch of them. I was like,
that's wild to me. Just knowing what Pop has done throughout his time in the NBA, and Spurs fans want him gone. Maybe they're just bored. I don't know. But it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
You know what I started thinking?
Mm-hmm.
As time goes on, fans get younger and younger.
That's true.
A lot of people call Tibbs the dinosaur. You know what I mean? A lot of these kids, as they get younger and younger, becoming fans, the history gets further and further away.
Right.
So they're not gonna respect Pop like they should.
Yeah, that's true. That's real true. Eddie said, sad to say, but time for Pop to go. He should have left with Tim Duncan. He's not built to lead a young team. We need someone new. How much do you agree with that about Gregg Popovich being built to lead a young team? I personally feel like Gregg Popovich is perfect for a young team. You know what I'm saying? He's going to teach them great fundamentals, discipline. He's got more knowledge. He's got more basketball knowledge than these kids have been alive. You know what I mean? He may not relate to the language but Pop is pretty hip though. You know what I'm saying? He may not relate to all of that stuff, but
he knows about basketball. He knows about life.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But what do you think about him coaching a young team though?
I think you spot on. I think he's perfect for a young team. Here's the thing. Is he gonna lead a young team to a championship at this stage at his age? Probably not. But he'll prepare these young men and they'll be ready when the time comes. You know what I mean? So the longer he's there, the more he'll instill in them discipline. We talk about heat culture, but there's a culture over there as well that's undeniable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And his track record of building players up is phenomenal as well. You know what I mean? From the championship teams to the ones he's building right now. Because there's a lot of guys on that team that I think currently are exceeding expectations. Vassell and Johnson being two of them.
Yeah. I think Pop is a master at developing players, in my opinion. Basketball doesn't change much. You may change the way that you score, so instead of shooting a mid-range, now you're shooting threes. Instead of posting up, now you're shooting threes or however it is. But it's still stuff that's been there. You know what I mean? Still stuff that's been there. So it doesn't change much. The only thing Pop has to do is, and even guys like Tom Thibodeau, maybe just tweak your philosophy. All right, you know what? Guys are shooting more threes nowadays. This is their skill set. Let's build around their skill set. And that's exactly what they said they were trying to do with Victor Wembanyama. Right? It's like, we're not going to come out and say, you have to play this style. Instead, We're going to figure out what you do well. We're going to figure out your weaknesses. And then we're going to start teaching you from there. Right. And that right there is exactly how I think you're supposed to train and develop a young player. Right. You don't just say, we're going to pigeonhole you. Right. We want you to play in a post. So we're going to teach you all post moves. And I see this at the high school level all the time. Tony, it's crazy. All the time I see at the high school level, middle school level, coaches saying, you're a big man. You're going to play in the post. We're not going to teach you how to dribble. Right? You're a guard. We're going to teach you how to penetrate, but we're not going to teach you any post moves. Instead of realizing that these kids are young, these are babies. So how can you say what this kid is going to be or not going to be as they grow and develop? You can't. You got to let them play and help them develop their entire basketball game. So I think Pop is great for these guys.
I agree. I agree. I think let's get to some of the comments and I'll let you know what I think.
Tim said, I'm not sure Pop is the right man. How are you going to have Wemby and not surround him with a point guard? So, who do they expect for them to get right now? They're not. Who are they going to get? Right now, they're in talent acquisition mode. They're trying to figure out who's going to fit with Wemby. I just say Wemby. Who's going to fit with Wemby? Who's going to fit with Devin Vassell? It's not as that easy to just, oh yeah, go get this guy. Doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Rhonda Chadwick said, he's a great teacher. They were just spoiled. I have no compassion for Spurs fans. It's time for new winners. The 76ers, OKC, Minnesota. I hate to say Boston, Pacers, Kings, and even Nuggets.
Wait. I think she spelled Knicks wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think she spelled Knicks wrong too.
Shout out to Rhonda though.
Yeah, Rhonda. Knicks don't start with a B or O or S or T or O or N. It's Knicks. Get them Boston Celtics out of there. Them Celtics out of there. But yeah, I mean, I guess Spurs fans is just kind of, they've been spoiled. I agree with Rhonda. They've been spoiled a little bit with, so much winning. You know what I mean? So now that they're, starting from the bottom again, they're kind of,
I'm sorry, what kind of point guard do you think the Spurs need or could use?
I don't know.
If there was a guy, not necessarily on the market, but like if they had to pick, who would be like 2 point guards you would say, I like to see him next to Wemby?
I'm not sure. I just think it's hard because I don't think they know exactly right now how they want to play.
And that goes back to what you were saying or what they're saying, what they're doing with him. Right? Like they got to figure out who he is.
Right.
To then acquire the right accessories. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know what I mean? I think if you're going to try to add a point guard with them, not the point guard that's going to be your long-term, he's the guy running the show, but maybe you're getting a guy that just knows the game of basketball, right? Maybe a veteran that doesn't mind playing with a young team, a guy that knows basketball, a guy that can help teach, teach them fundamentals, teach them, little nuances of the game and things like that. Maybe a guy like that is who you might want to have on your team. You know what I mean? Because I don't know where you find a guy like that, because most people that's in the league at that point in their career, they're trying to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or like a shooting guard type, maybe a Frenchman. You know what I mean? Like, or you know where I was going.
I know exactly where you was going.
Yeah.
But a young team like this, a young team like this, they do need a veteran leader out there. It don't even have to be someone who's playing mad minutes, but somebody who can just help teach, and be Pop's coach on the floor. But you're still giving most of the burn to your young guys that you're trying to help develop.
Yeah. I guess, I mean,
who did that for us?
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose helped do that for us.
You want to go throwback?
I mean, we can go way back. What's dude? Can't think of his name. The dude that looked like Sticky Fingers.
Are you talking about the same dude? He played for the Warriors before, right? He was Steph's little mentor.
I can't think of his name right now.
Come on, chat, help us out.
Can't think of his name, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because people was complaining about him getting playing time way back then.
Jared Jack.
Jared Jack.
There
Jack.
you go.
You know what I'm saying? Jared Jack. Yeah. Someone tell Pop to get his shine box, an outdated system, and retire already. It's already 4 years past due. Well, sad to tell you, Howie, Pop ain't going nowhere. He just re-signed the contract, didn't he?
I believe so.
Right? He signed out for however many years.
After they got the number 1 pick.
Yeah. Yeah, he just and he's been there for signed an $80 million contract. He ain't going nowhere. A new 5-year deal. He's been there for like 27 years or something crazy. He ain't going nowhere. He's part of the family.
Lifetime deal.
Right. QJ said, bring Becky and give Pop some desk job somewhere.
Yeah, they're serious, going crazy.
Going at him. And these are different people going at Pop. The way we go at Tom Thibodeau. And over here, we're in love with Pop. We like, yo, Tom Thibodeau never won a championship like Pop did.
I don't know. It's something about these young. I think they just got to be young fans. You know what I mean? And they
maybe. Right.
It just doesn't make any sense.
My man Kevin Bergen was popping with your brother. He said in their defense, Pop said he was leaving with Tim Duncan. That was a long time ago. This tells you how much he loves it though.
But also how much they love him. Like the organization.
Right, the organization. Mm-hmm. But with Pop, to start from the beginning, how old is Gregg Popovich?
I'm not sure, but let me just
years old. 74. To start from the beginning at 74 years old, to start from the beginning with this team, that's just the love of the sport, the love of basketball, the love of teaching and grooming young players.
Can I just add that, you know what I mean? Rest in peace. He lost his wife. So basketball is probably like getting him through days, you know what I mean? Getting him through weeks, like helping him stay focused on some things, because at that age to lose, you know what I mean, your significant other who's been by your side, you know what I mean, just as long as basketball, or basketball might be the only thing that's been there longer, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, how could you ask this man to walk away from that?
Right. and then not to mention the amount of time that he's, you know, how can he walk away? The amount of time that she even sacrificed to allow him to coach, because coaching takes up a ton of your time, right? So the amount of time that she gave up to allow him to coach, you know what I mean? And then now she passes away and he says, okay, that's it. And now you give now you got free time that you
Yeah,
could have
and
given
now
him.
exactly. Now you home. Now you like
Right.
that's gonna ruin. Like I could see him having like a sanctuary or a reason to kind of keep fighting and keep living per se. You know what I mean with basketball. So I don't know. I say let him walk away when he's ready.
When he's ready. That's how you do it. When he's ready. You know. It's it's something, man. I mean, it's something. They complain about offense. No identity or flow on offense. Jeremy literally adds, talking about Sohan, literally adds nothing to our starting lineup. Um, he's 20. Jeremy Sohan is 20 years old, right? Listen, I would just say trust Greg, trust Pop. He sees something. There's something that he sees somewhere. Let him continue the experiment. They're tired of the experiment, but I think you gotta trust Pop. But obviously they're tired of Pop, but you gotta trust Pop. Let them see what it does. This is
and
a
I
team of just young guys that they're trying to put together to figure out who this team is. They don't have a system yet. They don't have a style of play yet. They're figuring all that out.
I think part of the reason some of these fans are upset is Victor being number one pick. They probably want the ball in his hands and him to be the definitive go-to. Team runs through him. We live and die with him. You know what I mean? Try to average 30 rather than taking the build this guy up route. You know what I
Right.
mean? And they may look at him as old school in that sense,
Yeah.
where like, look who you got, number one pick, Victor. You know what I mean? Like, it should be his team, but he's coached these guys that was here before Victor, built them up, have role. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like I think that's why they really mad though. You know what I mean? Like they're looking for Victor to be the definitive go through guy, as
Yeah.
opposed to just letting him build into who he's gonna become.
Yeah. Yeah. Almighty Finesse said if Spurs fans don't want Jeremy Sohan, then we'll take him and start him at the 3. He can defend. He's got some work to do. I don't know if I'd start him at the 3, maybe bring him off the bench.
Yeah, nice backup 4, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. you know. Simmons Singh said, nah, they don't. Nah. He said, nah, they think this is a Tim Duncan situation. When they started winning as soon as he was drafted, these are some spoiled fans. Yeah. And it's like that Tim Duncan situation was totally different.
That team was built already.
That was already built. The only reason why they were able to so-called tank back then is because David
Robinson
Robinson was hurt,
broke his leg
right?
or something.
Or something like that. And so they got Tim Duncan, and then now you had David Robinson and Tim Duncan. This is a total new rebuild. You know what I mean? Total new rebuild. Totally different. So, if Simmons Singh is right, they need to get that out of their mind
What do
and
you
look at
think?
this as something different.
What do you think about them starting Sohan at the point, or having him run the point?
I don't know. I think I haven't seen enough of him. Let me say that to know exactly what he brings to the team. He had 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists tonight.
I mean, I see why they would do it. You know what I mean? To me, it limits his offensive liability because
Mhm.
now he's able to do so many other things. It's okay for him not to, and I shouldn't even say because he can score. He's just not necessarily a shooter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it brings out all his other attributes.
Uh, uh,
Whereas,
yeah. Are we talking about Sohan or we talk about Elfrid Payton?
I
Because
mean,
because with Elfrid Payton, that was one of the reasons that Elfrid Payton had to be on the ball. He couldn't shoot for nothing.
mhm.
So if you were going to spread the floor with Elfrid Payton on the floor, he had to be the ball handler.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you could spread the floor because this guy couldn't make a layup from 2 feet away.
It's a great analogy. But that's what I think they do it. Why they do it? It limits his like his liability playing at any other position.
Yeah. Payback Carter. What's going on, Payback? I haven't seen Payback in a minute. I don't like that Cowboys thing that he got going on there underneath the Knicks. He needs to erase that, take it off. That offends me. But anyway, Payback was popping with you, my brother. He says Sohan was known for his distributing and defending in college. Yeah, which is, why he's starting now. Almighty Finesse said they are better off sticking with Trey Jones at the 1. I know you had kind of championed that a little bit too. You still after tonight, you still feel that way?
I do. I just think he's a better facilitator, true facilitator, better shooter. He's the difference is he is a liability on the defensive end, but low turnovers. You know what I mean? Like he's a true point guard. I think if you're gonna put a true point guard in that starting lineup, you could really feed Wemby. You could really feed the perimeter guys. The funny thing though, Vassell handles the ball a lot. I know he didn't play a lot tonight. I think he's coming off an injury.
Right.
And Johnson handles the ball a lot as well. So it's I don't know if they're not true facilitators though. They're more of scorers.
Yeah.
So maybe that's another reason why it may fit better with Sohan because those other two guys on the court can handle the ball. They're just not going to handle and distribute.
Right. Ruben said, okay, I think I've seen enough of the Sohan at point experiment. Yeah. I mean, listen, they're going to continue to lose basketball games because they're so young. I don't care who you put there, they're not going to get that much better. They're just a young, very young basketball team, and you can see them making young people mistakes. You know what I mean? Young people mistakes. I just don't know how much you're going to be able to see from this basketball team right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they'll surprise a couple teams here and there. You know what I mean? Like they did with the Suns.
Yeah.
But and there's gonna be certain teams that they just match up well against.
Right.
But overall, they got to figure out how to close games out, how to manage leads, how to fight back in a close game. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's so many nuances that a young team has to figure out.
Yeah. Well, a young team sounds crazy, but it's not about winning and losing for them right now. It's all about learning, figuring out how to play basketball. They're the youngest team in the league right now, right?
I believe so. I don't even know who's their vet. Doug McDermott.
Doug McDermott. Yeah. Somebody like that.
I can't even think of who might be an older player on their team.
I think Dougie Fresh might be the oldest.
And then even the like even the other vets are relatively new NBA players. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Collins is probably what, fifth, sixth year maybe.
Yeah. The San Antonio Spurs are the youngest team in the league. The average age is 23 and a half years old.
Mm, mm.
That's dumb young.
I mean, when you say that though, when you say 23, it makes me like now I'm just, you know what I mean, we defending Pop based off of who he is, who he's been. I can understand. I can understand Spurs fans potentially wanting a different, maybe a younger voice. You
Younger
know what I
coach.
mean? I don't know if they're saying that with the expectation of winning immediately. I think maybe they're just looking at it as something for the long term.
Right.
Because I agree. I don't, like I said earlier, I don't think Pop will be there from start to finish to build this team, but he's gonna instill some things in these players that when that next guy comes,
That's the
it's
thing.
gonna be a shortcut for him. You know what I mean? Like,
That's the thing. That's the thing right there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can understand. I can understand them wanting to have a young guy that can relate to the players and this and that, but that young guy doesn't have the same experience, the same knowledge. You can get assistant coaches to be, to connect with the players. But when
and
you
he could be next in line.
he could be next in line. When you have a guy like Pop with the wealth of knowledge that he has, you want that given to your young players. And you want Pop to um, build the culture, right? You want him to build the culture. You want him to uh, set the standards, and develop these players the way he's done throughout the years, so that when another guy gets him, like they already have these standards. They already got them. You know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
23 and you say he's 70 what? Yeah, I mean, like
I get it.
it's like, all right,
I know.
Gramps. You know what I mean? Great Gramps. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, yeah, that is wild. And there's, not a generational gap. There's a 3-generation gap or something like that. 4-generation gap, somewhere around there. So it's definitely that's wild. You know what I mean? Texas said, let's just take another lottery pick and get a point guard. This is a development year. No doubt. It's a development year.
See,
You know what I
I,
mean?
I like those type of rational fans. I mean, I'm never a fan of like trying to get a lottery pick, but if you see the team for what it is, you know what I mean. You, I like this guy.
Yeah, I mean, see, my thing is just based on the players that you have, you're not gonna win basketball games, right? But when you attempt to win basketball games
Mhm.
though.
Yeah,
You put
you
the guy,
gotta.
yeah,
If I'm running a team like them, I'm not even looking at the league per se. You know what I mean? I'm looking at the younger teams in the league. I want to
right,
see how do we fare head to head and, you know, with the league
right.
or with Orlando. You know what I mean? With Houston. I think we're like, can we how far away from of OKC are we? You know what I mean? Like a team, a young team, but they've been building for a couple years now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that those are the teams that I'm looking at. Like, all right, how can I get into all right, definitively better than them? You know what I mean?
right. And that's what you got to look at. You got to take it a step at a time, man. Step at a time. Let these guys grow and develop. In a couple of years, now is when you'll start comparing them. But this is very similar to when you know this is very similar to the Knicks. few years, when the Knicks won 17 games. You know what I mean? It's good to know that it's just not us. Always sounds crazy that they want Pop gone, but it's good to know it's not just the Knicks fans that be delusional. Navy Blue 76 said they want Pop gone if they're going to end up with someone like David Fizdale.
We know how that went. Players coach.
They'll learn. They will learn. Man, Fizdale was so bad. He was so bad. Fizdale was bad. He was terrible.
I'll never forget. Simmons like, I feel like he's trying to be their friend, and I think
that's what he was doing. That's what it felt like. That's exactly what it felt like. It was like, yo, what is he? I'm taking him to the movies. You know what I'm saying? And he definitely was trying to be their friend. Yeah, I think he thought he had, this magical. I think he thought he had the touch. He was doing something innovative, but he wasn't. He wasn't. He was, he's a great assistant.
And he thought he was built for New York. He wasn't.
He wasn't. I mean, he literally thought it was a good idea to have his assistant coaches go talk to players when he wasn't going to start them or wasn't going to start them, wasn't going to play him, whatever it was. His assistant coaches.
You know why? Because that used to be his job.
That used to be it. Oh, okay. Maybe that was his job.
So he was like, now I get to, that's not my job no more. Like from his philosophy, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean.
I always thought that it was because he was too close. He felt bad telling a guy, I'm not going to start you, or you're not going to play tonight. You know what I'm saying? Because he became their friend instead of their coach. That's what I thought it was.
That makes sense too. Yeah. But I thought it was like that's what he used to have to do. You know what I mean?
And I don't know. I always felt like that was the head coach's job. I mean, always felt it was the head coach's job to communicate with the players and tell them, now you're not starting tonight, so on and so forth, or whatever it was, to keep those lines. I think players respect that instead of I'm gonna send Fizdale to tell you. I think players feel like, oh, what are you scared to tell me? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Anyway, let's see what else do we have here. My man USA Boxing Wave says, am I bugging, or does Wemby kind of look like Iceman George Gervin? Maybe a little bit.
A
younger version, but of course, this guy, he's 7'4". You know what I mean? He's 7'4". Iceman was, I don't know what Iceman was, but he's smooth like Iceman, though. Wemby is smooth like Iceman. Let me see. Kevin Bergman said, talking about going back to Fizdale. When I heard him say, Moutier, I'm going to get you right, I knew it was over.
Oh man, he loved Moutier like Tibbs loved Burke.
Yeah, that was his dude. You know what I'm saying? That was that. And B. Willis said, what coach tells one player, I'm going to get you right on record? Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about it.
That's got to be embarrassing.
Yeah. Trent said, damn, I hope Wemby doesn't get affected by the hostile crowds. He wrote off MSG for not being as big. Hope he can do it. I mean,
nope.
The fans let him know a little bit though. He missing shots, whatever. Overrated.
Mm-hmm.
You know he was gonna get some of that.
The lights was bright tonight. See, you went to the garden. You was talking about the garden. The lights wasn't on yet. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
The lights wasn't on yet. They put
Right.
the lights on. It's a different feeling.
Yeah. Mitchell Robinson. Someone said Mitchell Robinson better pipe down before Wendy gives him a 30-piece.
Nope.
Nope.
Didn't happen.
Did not happen. Didn't happen. And then Adrian said, laughed my ass off. Mitchell Robinson just compared Wemby to Bol. Did he not see what Shaq did for Wemby? Can't wait for tonight. Well, y'all tonight, y'all seen what happened tonight. Adrian, you seen what happened tonight. You know what I mean?
See, Mitch put on that weight. Y'all gotta wait for Wemby to put on that weight.
Y'all gotta wait. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
He good, but he ain't finished. He ain't a finished product yet.
Nah, that's it. P said, I'm reselling my season tickets. I'm not driving 6 hours, paying for gas and the hotel to watch them lose by 40 each night. So, dude has seasons tickets and he lives 6 hours away or 3 hours away, maybe.
Yeah.
3 hours to get there, 3 hours to go back.
I tell you what, I ain't highlight the responses. But there was a couple of people, it was about 17 comments, you know what I mean, responded trying to get them tickets on the cheap.
Right.
So he might be able to, like, you might look at it as an investment. He might be able to double up whatever he paid for them joints.
Yeah. He'll move them. I'm assuming he's gonna move them. You know what I mean? Navy Blue 76 said Mitch manhandled Wemby. Yeah.
He ragdolled them.
He just, Wemby wasn't ready. The Knicks bullied those guys all night.
You seen Mitch snatch the ball off the jump ball? Snatched it away. It was a little bit too late, but they still called the jump ball, but
yeah.
It's my ball.
I mean, listen, in a couple of years, that's gonna be a matchup to watch in a couple of years, too. You know what I'm saying? When Wemby gets a little bit bigger and stronger, it's gonna be a matchup to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, support the channel if you can. If not, it's all good. Just keep watching. But of course, the channel's been demonetized. So you can support us. Right? Cash App, $ nothing but Knicks. PayPal, paypal.me/nothing but Knicks, ladies and gentlemen. Support us. Help us keep this channel rocking. You know what I mean? Because we appreciate you being here. Appreciate being able to do these shows every day. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Let's see what else we got here. The Spurs need dudes that can be physical. They get overpowered by everyone at each position. I think that's natural for it to happen.
23-year-old team.
Young kids, man. They're going to get overpowered by everybody. You can't expect them to. What do you expect? I don't know what they expect.
Telling you, Sim, they need a veteran presence.
Yeah.
Like a FIBA king. You know what I mean? Somebody who knows how to lead a FIBA team. We got one for him.
Hey.
Frenchman.
Evan Fournier was the only player on the Knicks not to play tonight. Even though some of those other guys only got, a few minutes. He didn't play. He's the only one not to play. Only one not to play. It's going to be like that a lot of times this year. Until he's traded. He'll be the only guy not to play.
Traded to the Spurs.
You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could see him. I could see him going to the Spurs. Kevin said Tony trying to sell Fournier to the Spurs is a good idea. Get that man on the phone. Spurs got money. They probably have a spot for Evan Fournier. But I guess my question is, will Greg Popovich play him? Or does he want to just focus on the young guys? You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if he'll play him. And if I'm gonna sit the bench, I'd rather sit the bench on the Knicks than behind a bunch of young guys on the Spurs. He's still sitting behind a bunch of young guys.
I mean, if I'm Fournier, I'd rather be on the Spurs where I could talk French to Wemby.
Yeah. The Public Enemy said, "Thank you, Wemby. At least he didn't score a triple-double on us. Even with the Knicks win, sports media will talk more about Wemby." He's, he's the new one of those new guys. I think they expect you need to change that Obi picture though.
He updated it too. That's the
He
funny part.
updated it. He updated it. What's going on? What's going on? You ever seen Breaking 2? Obi looks like Ozone from Breaking 2, especially when he has those long cross earrings in. You know what I mean? Looks like
Classic.
Ozone. Yeah, but yeah, they're gonna talk about Wemby. He's the he's not the face of the league, but he's the guy that they expect to be the face of the league. Wow, at some point. You know what I mean?
Another international hero.
Yeah.
When's the American star gonna break out?
I know, man. I mean, the league is yeah, you're starting to get a lot of international heroes. You know what I'm saying?
Ja,
International stars.
Ja put a you know what I mean, some quicksand in his path.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Edwards, he on his way.
He's on his
But
way.
I think that's gonna come like next year. You know what I mean? He gotta keep doing what he's doing right now. But who you know what I mean? Who else is on that list?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Star J Barrett keep doing what he doing. You know what I
Hey.
mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Uncle
Josh
Julio.
Josh in the chat. He might
Hey,
have heard me.
Uncle Julio is the reason that we were late. So blame Josh. He's the reason we was arguing. He said the Spurs have a lot of talent defensively. They're just super young. Not sure how Fournier would fit in with what they're doing, but offensively, it's a perfect fit with what they do. He could be a nice fit there, but I don't know if he's going to play because they're young, because they're super young. So, I just don't see why. Like, why? If it's I don't know.
He needs Wemby to request it.
Just if it was a point guard that you're giving a few minutes here and there, I think that could help. Someone that's really just like leading the charge out there.
He could play point.
Yeah, right.
Come on, man. We gotta build him up soon.
Man, I don't know.
I'd be sending them all FIBA highlights.
But see, I feel like, yeah, I feel like teams right now, unless there's going to be a big trade, I feel like teams right now is just going to kind of, we're going to we're going to wait until this season is over, and then we'll go get Fournier in free agency because the Knicks, they're not going to pick up his, they're not picking it up. You know what I mean? So I really think that's how it's going to go.
They like 18 million for what?
You know what I'm saying? They're like, nah, we're not doing that.
Get him for 4 on a Westbrook contract.
Yo, they're like, we not doing that. And you know, that's a smart move. The only way I see it happening is if you know, there's some kind of, you know, serious
Incentive.
trade, some kind of serious trade. The only way that I see him getting traded is that if he's thrown into make money match.
Mm-hmm.
The only way that I'm seeing it. Other than that, he's gonna be right there on the bench, I think. You know, I don't know if the Knicks gonna be able to move him. I think they tried over the summer, but you know, it just wasn't gonna be happen. Just wasn't gonna happen. Trade deadline though. I think they're gonna try again at the trade deadline. You know, would it? I don't think he ends up. I don't think he ends up with the Spurs though.
I don't either.
You know what I'm saying? If Fournier is gonna get traded, I don't know who, but it's probably gonna be a contender that thinks he fits what they do. You know what I mean? And you know, like if the Knicks are trying to make a big splash somewhere and trade for somebody, then Fournier becomes a throw-in to make the money match and maybe goes to a third team.
I could see a third team. I could see at the trade deadline though. I wouldn't put the Spurs off the table. If they have salary cap or one of the teams that has salary cap that could absorb it, we might
Mhm.
have to incentivize it. But if we know there's no other trade on the table, we could potentially move him, incentivize it with second round picks, and then have that cap space. I mean that trade exception into the next year, which would be the only other thing that I could see happening.
Mm. Shout out to Reek. Thank you for the Cash App. He says, Sim, Tony, keep up the good work. Yo, Black, it's time. No doubt about it, man.
Sir,
What we gonna do?
appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Almighty Finesse said, send Fournier to the Warriors for Wiggins. Why would the Warriors do that?
Yeah, I don't know why they would do it either, but I'd take them.
I mean, I'd do it. I'd do it.
And we could talk draft capital too. You know what I mean? Like
You know what I'm saying? As a Knicks fan, I would do it without a doubt. But you know, I can't see why the Warriors would do that joint. And I'm not saying that he wouldn't fit there. He would fit there, but he's not close to the player that Andrew Wiggins is.
nah, they be losing so much defensively.
Oh my gosh.
Like Wiggins is their Grimes, and I say that because he guards the guy on the other team.
Right. Yeah. You know. I hate to see, you know, I don't want to say I hate to see it, but it's unfortunate that his career has gone this way because I felt like there was so much promise when he came to the Knicks. A lot of promise. A lot of people felt like, you know, he was a really good fit and it was going to work out. But defense just wasn't it.
It's so messed up too because I knew he wasn't a great defender, but I always saw him as a scrappy guy. You know what I mean? An effort guy.
Right.
And he still does give effort, but it looks bad when you give it effort and you getting blown by. You know what I mean? You give it effort and you getting lost. His
Yeah.
defense is bad.
Yeah. It is. Shout out to Lonely Souls. He said a donation to Josh so he can get rid of those $20 AirPods that he got off of Temu or Wish or one of them.
Keep it up.
Yeah.
You can get some Bose.
Yeah. What'd he say? Josh said that back then, so y'all can admit I was right. Said what back then? Fournier?
He did.
Fournier? All right, you was right, Josh. Josh was right. I'm not sure what I'm saying he was right about, but I'm gonna let him be right about this. I guess he's saying about Fournier
Yeah, he was right about Fournier and Kemba.
and Kemba. Okay. The Public Enemy said Tibbs kills careers. I don't know. I don't know.
He spelled builds wrong.
Builds. Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, when you look at guys, man, that have come under Tibbs, that have become all-star players, you know what I mean? What are you gonna do? He's helped a ton of guys become very good players in the NBA, I think. It's just certain guys don't play Tibbs style. And so Tibbs is like, I'm not gonna play you.
Who was the player that came out against Tibbs publicly?
Karl Anthony Towns?
No. It was like, was it David West? Or if it wasn't David West, it's somebody with a similar game, similar build. I can't remember who it was, but I want to know the backstory, because he's the one that basically came out and said, Tibbs kills careers. And
Josh said, y'all took the optimistic Fournier approach and I didn't. You don't take an optimistic approach about anything.
That's a fact.
Josh, I don't see any optimistic approaches that you take. You said he was better than Reggie Bullock, but the team was worse and the contract wasn't movable enough if we don't move him by the deadline.
And I'm also on record saying I preferred Bullock over Fournier. I just wasn't mad. I understood why Bullock didn't want to wait, and I wasn't mad about Fournier. But my preference was Bullock, even with his inconsistent shooting, because I knew what he brought defensively.
Daniel Fong said Booze came out and said Carlos Boozer said that about Tibbs.
Was it Boozer? Okay.
I'm not sure. Could have been.
It was like, I thought it was David West for some reason.
Yeah, he was. Headphones. Oh man, funny. Josh said also, since point about they can still move IQ at the deadline with Fournier's contract. Now y'all don't think teams would want him at the deadline. I just said that if there's a bigger trade that a team would. I never thought a team was going to trade for just Fournier. I never thought they were going to trade for just Fournier. It was always going to be part of a bigger deal. And if a team wants IQ and they have a player that makes $25 million, if they want IQ, then Fournier might be included in that contract. And I still believe that. But I don't think any team is trading just for Evan Fournier.
Not without being incentivized with draft capital.
Yeah, I never said that Fournier would be someone that that teams were just going to trade for. I always thought he would be attached to a bigger trade. Go get those receipts, Josh. Go get those receipts. Always said that. You know, why would a team trade for him? It's not about his contract. It's not about his ability to play basketball. It's the situation that he's in. That they know the Knicks are not going to re-sign him. They know that the Knicks are not going to pick up his contract. So if I want Evan Fournier, I think he's a good fit. And if I can wait until next season, I might as well wait till next season.
That's it's not going to be a bidding war, so it's not like it's like, let me grab him now, so I can pick up his option. You know what I mean? Or let me grab him now, so I could get ahead of the curve of everybody else trying to get him.
Right. And knowing that he's buried on the bench, you're not going to have to pay him that much money next year. Right? Because now it's like, hey, we are going to help you get your career back.
Build your value back up.
Build your value back up.
So we'll get you on this discount and you can prove that you're worth more.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So, why does it kill a point about a midseason trade, including him in IQ, which I stood on? I didn't say that IQ was definitely going to be traded. I never said IQ was definitely going to be traded. I said I think that they would look to trade him, but I still believe that if a team likes IQ and believes IQ can be their starting point guard or whatever it is, the Knicks may be able to attach Evan Fournier to that team depending on who they're trying to move. I still believe that could happen.
Yeah, the point that we said is IQ won't be traded on his own.
Or Fournier won't be traded on his own.
Or Fournier. Because we're not going to get this. I mean, you know this. We've had this discussion.
Yeah. You know, so I still do believe that, you know, if a team wanted IQ who makes $4 million, you know what I'm saying? Team wanted IQ that makes $4 million. The Knicks might say, well, we can, you know, we'll attach Evan Fournier. We'll have to make the money work. Some team might be willing to do it, make the money work, or, you know, draft, you know, however. But I still think it could happen that way. So I'm standing on it still, that there's a possibility. I think Josh is tired. Tired of listening to all that static in his headphones. He's trying to listen to music, and it's so you know, he's got to.
That's that Baltimore go-go.
You know what I mean? Yeah. The Public Enemy say you just invited Josh to a debate. Here we go again. Now we're gonna cut it short. We're gonna cut it short. Good game by the Knicks tonight, though, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, the YouTube feds. That Josh is the YouTube feds. Good game tonight.
And Spurs fans, man, let Pop live. He deserves it. He done brought you guys to the glory land numerous times. And this is a new situation for him too.
Yeah.
So as much as he's teaching, he's probably learning too.
He's still learning some stuff. You know what I mean? Still learning some stuff. Yeah. Well, anyway, the Knicks, man, they take on Charlotte on Sunday. Early game Sunday, take on Charlotte. Then they play Boston on Monday. You know, that Monday game, I'm going to miss so much of that game because I practice from 7 to 9 on Monday.
Well, Sim,
it's crazy.
I'm going to be traveling, but if you want to do the Losers Lounge in the evening, I'll be home in the evening on Sunday.
Yeah. So well, see, it's crazy because I got to.
Oh, you doing the travel?
Practice, I got to drive 2 hours after practice on Monday.
No, Sunday though.
Oh, Sunday, yeah.
Sunday, yeah. I don't know about Monday yet, but Sunday, if you want to do Losers Lounge late.
My whole week is a little wild with the travel. Cause I'll be traveling back and forth 2 hours. 2 hours to come to practice, and then 2 hours back to this conference. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be missing whatever the Knicks play. I'll be missing this week. I'll be watching it on the way while I'm driving, but I won't be able to do shows like normal. I'm gonna have to figure out something. You know, I may just do late night shows or something like that.
Hit up Andy. Oh, he might not have seen the
I'll be good for Sunday. I'll be good for Monday's game preview. And then I'll probably get out of practice at 9. I'll be able to watch the second half of the game. By the time I get there, it's going to be 11. By the time I get in the hotel 11:30. So I might be able to, jump on at 11:30 and do something then. And then the Knicks play Wednesday.
Did you say Wednesday, Thursday?
And they play the Hawks on Wednesday. They play the Hawks on Wednesday, and then on the 17th, they play the Washington Wizards. So I should be good for that game on the 17th or something. I don't know. So, yeah, it's going to be crazy travel week for me. But I'm going to figure out how to get it in, though. Figure it out. Anyway, I'm going to get up out of here, Tony, because I got a training tomorrow morning, 9:30. You know what I mean? I was supposed to call someone to talk about how we're doing the training. We're going to have to get up earlier tomorrow, get up a little bit early and figure that out. I know she's probably heated. She's like, man, you were supposed to call me. We'll talk about it in the morning. But anyway, Nixon Knight said, where's Cornerstone Kev? Hope all is well. Kev is doing good. He was actually supposed to come to the game last week or whenever it was, but he ended up having to travel and he couldn't make it to the game. But I think he's going to try to get out to some stuff. So hopefully you'll be seeing Cornerstone Kev soon. You know what I mean? Josh isn't optimistic about anything, and Tony and Sim think everything is sunshine and rainbows. What a time. I don't think everything is sunshine and rainbows.
No, I think everything is orange and blue skies.
Yeah, I like the rain, Josh. As a matter of fact, when it rains out, I sit next to the window up and the screen down and listen to the rain. Just saying.
Somebody else, Knicks 100 says, where's Nate? I don't know, but shout out to Nate.
Yeah, I ain't heard from Nate in a while.
I think he's still recovering from the Heat series loss.
He'll be back at some point. I'm pretty sure he'll be back. Still Knicks fans. Great show, guys. Have a good night. Yes, sir. With that being said, folks, we're gonna get on up out of here. We appreciate your time. Yeah, we got a couple of days before the Knicks play again. So, relax a little bit. I'll be jumping on and doing a show or two before Sunday. Tony, anything you gonna do between now and Sunday?
I might have to jump on tomorrow night, late night. If not, look for me Monday. I'll definitely be back on schedule Monday a little early because we playing, but yeah. I'll try to get something in before the week.
All right. Folks, I'm up out of here. Be peaceful. Yeah, I'm gone. Support the channel, folks. We've been demonetized. The Cash App, $ nothing but Knicks. Be peaceful. We're out. Check. Can you?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hopefully I got it muted where they can't hear us.
Oh.
I muted it on my machine over here. I don't know. So,
Hey, chat, can you hear us?
They'll let us know if they can hear us.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody said nothing yet.
They're going to be like, hot mic.
Hot mic. Because, one time I had that hot mic and I was like, F Donald Trump. They're
gonna clip that joint.